Really excited to be a part of the WFG family of companies. And my purpose is I go around the country talking to real estate agents and lenders and title companies and real estate attorneys on ways to grow and streamline our business, and so as we move into this market that's causing a little bit of stress for all of us, probably, I think it's important to keep a couple things in mind. One, the world is still our oyster. A lot of people, I got my license not long before the Great Recession, right? And so I came in and was relatively new, and there were people that had been around for years.
I could have in the chicken finger.
I'll take care of that. So they kind of just turned into turtles, right? They just got in their shell and were just oh crap, I don't know what's happening here. And they kind of contracted rather than going out and trying new things, and so whether it's using video, whether it's reaching out to your clients in different ways, whether it's one of the strategies that Walt and I have talked about in the past. We posted a video and we went live and talked about this, a listing lead strategy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of unsolicited CMAs, right? So taking maybe 100 people from your database, people that you've sold houses to in the past, people that already know you, that are friends and family, do a quick CMA. They don't know that we can knock that out in just a few minutes. Send them a CMA via snail mail or via email, and then explain to them where you got that information. And the way I've presented things like that is, hey, knowing what your house is worth is part of your financial well-being. You've heard that the market's crazy, but what the hell does that actually mean? For you and your house, this is what it means. If you want me to connect you with a lender, maybe do a cash out, do some investing, fix up a bathroom, or you're looking to downsize or upsize, give me a call. Otherwise, I just thought this was important information for you to know. When I did things like that, like an unsolicited CMA, I did 2 or 3 a week, every week for a couple months, right during the downturn in 08, 09. And that turned into probably 10 or 15 different listings and 5 or 6 buyer opportunities in, a 3-4 month period. And it was just because I was reaching out in a different way, sparking conversations that I wouldn't have. So that's a little bit of a tangent, but the point of all of this is just to say there are still opportunities out there. Do not contract. Get bolder, get braver, step out in faith and try new things. So today, totally unrelated to that completely, but there's my diatribe for the day. We're going to talk about the apps that I think every realtor should have in 2022. These are the things that we should be doing to streamline our business, to grow our business, ways to engage. I'm going to send you guys a link to a copy of this, so you don't need to write any of this down. You'll have it. Use it however you want. And again, of course, thanks to Walt and everybody at Pride for partnering up with WFG and Meg and me. We really appreciate it. So with that, let's get started. A wise philosopher once said, there is an app for that. And that is absolutely the truth. There is an app for anything we could possibly want to do, especially in the real estate space. So I'm going to talk about probably 15, 18 apps today. I'll go through them relatively quickly. So again, I'm going to have a recording of this and the presentation itself that Walt will have to get to you guys afterwards. So no need to take any notes or anything. So I am a huge fan of creating kind of emotional experiences. What do I mean by that, right? I send you an email saying, hey, Walt, thanks so much for letting me be a part of your real estate transaction. It was an honor to represent you as your realtor. Really appreciate it. Let me know if there's anything I can do in the future. That email is not going to evoke any emotion, right? It's black words, white screen. I get 500 of them a day. It doesn't stand out from the crowd. Felt is kind of the 2022 version of a handwritten note. So what Felt is, it's an app that you can open up. There's hundreds of templates for greeting cards. You can plug and play your own photos. You can actually write on your screen. There's a million different templates. One of my best practices was when I was sitting at closing with a client or customer, I actually would open up my phone. I'd already gone through the closing disclosure. I'd already, made sure all the numbers were looking good. I'm basically there for moral support, right? So I figured that I would go ahead and take care of my first point of follow-up contact right there at closing. So I would open up the Felt app, snap a picture of them signing documents, throw it on a greeting card, congratulating them. Of course, it has my contact information, but thanking them and being grateful for the opportunity to work with them. For $1.99 and up, most of them are only $1.99 or $2.99. They print these professionally. I mean, it's like a Hallmark card from CVS or Walgreens. It's professionally printed. They drop it in the snail mail, drop it off, and in 3 to 5 days, that is in their mailbox. So that was my first piece of follow-up contact. And it was pretty cool because I literally would take a picture of them at closing or in front of the house or something, and it printed on a greeting card. And the funny thing is years later, I'd be at housewarming parties or became friends with some of my clients, and I'd be in their office or something, and you'd see the cover of that greeting card right there in their office, which was pretty cool. So Felt is an awesome app. The app is free. The cards are between $2 and like $5, but they're really nice. So moving on, if you're anything like me, like I live and die by my calendar. I am only as good as my calendar. I am only as organized as my calendar. You know, Walt and Meg know that. Like if it's not in my calendar, this doesn't exist. So Calendly is a really cool service. There's a free version and a paid version. I use the free version, where you can provide a link to somebody where they can go in and book an appointment with you. As you're trying to be as methodical and intentional as possible with the time that you're spending with your clients and customers, vendors, people like us on an event like today, having happy hour, whatever it might be, being in control of your calendar is really important. And the cool thing about something like Calendly is when I give that link to a potential client, a buyer, a seller, somebody that's looking for me to represent them, that's just an elevated level of professionalism. I provide them a link that links straight into my calendar, and they can find the time that's convenient for them. It will then send them a calendar invite, send me a calendar invite. We're all on the same page. We can adjust it straight from there. But it's very different than kind of going back and forth 25 times, finding the right time on the right day. You're empowering that client to truly find the time that's best for them. So when you're talking about things like customer service, it's important to know that I got to back that up with actions, right? So I have always prided myself, right, on great customer service. So what does that mean? That means I morph myself to your schedule because you're my client. You're of utmost importance. I have a fiduciary with you, and I'm here to take care of you. This is just another way to do that, right? Like you are morphing your calendar to theirs. Now, on the back end, of course, you can go in and block things out. I play golf sometimes on Friday afternoons. Not a huge fan of working on Sunday mornings, right? So you can block that time out so it'll show that it's already taken. So don't be afraid that they're going to go in and take over your schedule. But Calendly is a really cool way to really maintain control of your schedule. And it looks pretty cool from the consumer's point of view as well. So Landglide, you'll notice I have a little asterisk here. Every app here, except for a couple, are 100% free because I like free things. I don't like paying for apps, right? This one does have a fee associated with it. And let me tell you a little bit about it. So Landglide is the largest national database of property line and property data information when it comes to plat maps and things like that. So if you're out and you're a little bit out of town and you're curious where one property ends and where one begins, of course, you can reach out to Walt and his team, and I'm sure they can help you with that information. But if you're out in the field, maybe it's a weekend, you want to access that information very quickly, Landglide is a really cool way to do that. And it's by far the most accurate. There's some information in RPR, which I think I'll talk about in a minute. I can't remember if I still have it in this presentation. But Landglide is by far the most accurate. So if you're curious where one piece of property begins and where one ends, that's a great way to find that information on the fly. Most of you are probably familiar with Canva at this point. A few years ago, I'd talk about it. And people were like, Canvas, like cannabis, like what the hell are you talking about, right? So like it's Canva. One of the things that I think is underutilized, if you don't know what it is, it's a graphic design tool. There's a free version and a paid version, really robust, tons of templates, which is cool. Because if you're like me, I'm not the most creative person when it comes to graphic design, but if someone can lead me with a template, like I'm good to go. I can change colors and add logos. I can handle that, but I'm not a designer. But one of the cool things that Canva does now that they're really doubling down on is video creation. Right? So if I wanted to make a quick video, maybe it's about a listing, maybe it's about market statistics, there are tons of video templates on Canva that look really cool. They have cool stock music that is open source and free to use. So video is the thing that on social media, on every platform, even Google, for example, video is going to be served up to more eyeballs than anything else. So it's really important to kind of double down on video versus static imagery or just words on a screen. And Canva now is a really cool way to do that. So if you have not explored the video templates, I would absolutely recommend that you do that. Canva's huge. There's a great mobile app. You can do it from your laptop or your desktop as well, but I'm a fan of the mobile app. So has anybody ever heard of Fiverr? Has anybody ever heard of it or used it? A few of you, I see a couple nods and stuff. So I am always looking. Nice. Yeah, it's awesome. So I'm always looking for more efficient ways to do things, right? Like when I first got into real estate, I remember my broker at the time making fun of me because I just wanted to do everything myself, right? So like I was creating all my own flyers. I was creating all of my own marketing collateral. I was doing all of my lead generation. I was doing all of my block walking and door knocking and all of those things, right? Kissing babies, shaking hands, like I did everything. And then I realized that there were some things that were not a best use of my time. Some of those things, like maybe, doing an addition to my website and building some of that stuff out, maybe some graphic design, maybe video editing, right? And figuring out how to create a cool bumper out of my logo, whatever it might be. So Fiverr is a really cool platform to be able to pay people starting at just a couple dollars, Fiverr meaning $5, to do some of those tasks for you. So if you're looking at building a website, maybe your brokerage doesn't provide a template or something. If you're looking to edit some videos together or create a cool looking maybe intro or outro to a video that would just make it look more professional. If you're looking for someone to do some graphic design, maybe a new logo just for you and your business specifically, whatever it might be, Fiverr is a really, really cool place for that. The app is super user friendly. Go in and search what you're looking for, and in a few seconds, I guarantee you'll find somebody. One kind of like pro tip there is make sure you really take a look at those review ratings. They pay off. So if you end up getting somebody that only has a couple reviews that just started, there's a chance it won't be as good of a product. So make sure you take a look at those reviews. I'm sure you would anyway. But for that reason, Fiverr is awesome. Take some of that stuff off of your plate. I've had them organize databases for me in the past. I've had them turn them into other type of documents. There was a time where I got access to a database and all I could get was a PDF. Right? I couldn't get it in CSV format, and I couldn't copy and paste, and my PDF readers were not working very well. So I paid somebody there like $25 to turn a PDF that had 6,500 contacts on it into a nice organized CSV file. And again, it was $25. That would have taken me hours and would have been a complete waste of my time. So it's a great way to outsource some of that stuff. There's people that work on SEO on there. There's people that help with lead gen campaigns. It's really limitless. So Fiverr is super, super cool. A lot of us now are starting to really leverage professional photography for our listings. It was hard over the last couple of years knowing like, dude, my listing's going to sell in a week and I'm going to spend $400 to have somebody take pictures knowing it's going to sell anyway. That was kind of hard. And so during that time is when I really talked about this. Not that we're totally out of that in every market, but it's obviously started to shift the other direction a little bit. Snapseed is a really cool app that is a very powerful photo editing tool, and it's free. So if you really want your pictures to pop and stand out like they would with a professional photographer, obviously, our phones are really powerful now, and we have really fantastic lenses and great frames per second on video. But there's something about a professional photographer's real estate photos, right? They really pop. They're not focusing on the toilet, they're focusing on the bathroom. They're not focusing on the bed, they're focusing on the bedroom, right? And so Snapseed has a really cool one-touch editing feature where you click one button, it highlights what needs to be highlighted, it darkens what needs to be darkened, and just works really, really well. Android and iPhones have some cool photo editing features, but Snapseed has a one-touch feature that I think is super awesome. So if you want your photos to pop, it's a really cool app to make them do that. And obviously those are super important. So as we move into a little bit of a shifting market, I keep saying it, but it's true and it's happening. What we end up paying the government at the end of the year is important, right? And so I want to save every dime that I can. You can, of course, take a standard deduction for your vehicle as a realtor on federal taxes and whatnot, but Mile IQ is a way to really break that down. So oftentimes itemizing ends up being better. Mile IQ is kind of like the Tinder of miles and mileage, right? You can set it to where it recognizes when you're in a vehicle and you simply swipe left if this is a personal trip and swipe right if it's a professional trip. It will track that mileage, and then at the end of the month, the quarter, or the year, you can download a CSV file that will show all of your business mileage, total it up, show your driving time, all that kind of stuff. So you can simply print that out and include it in your taxes. You'll know exactly how far you drove. And at 57.5 cents or whatever it is that the deduction is right now, that's pretty awesome. So something really cool to take advantage of. And that kind of parlays into the next one. Being an independent contractor as a real estate agent, a lot of people don't realize like we're 100% commission, man. You know, like every dollar, every cent helps. Like what you're spending on marketing, what you're spending on digital advertising, maybe some Facebook ads and things like that, what you're spending on signage, what you're spending on your vehicle, all of those things are important to really have kind of reined in so that we know what we're doing financially, right? Like we don't have the benefits that some other jobs do. So I really needed to be on top of my finances as a real estate agent. So Mint is an app by Intuit. It's super secure. I plugged in all of my accounts, right? So my mortgage, my vehicle, my credit cards, my bank accounts, you know, any business accounts that I had, I plugged all of that stuff into this app. And with a couple clicks, I can find out exactly where I'm spending my money. I could set a marketing budget and see that I'm hitting that every month. One of the things that's kind of interesting, you know, as we move into this market, we tend to rein in on our marketing spending, right? Like maybe we were doing some cool stuff during the last couple of years and we decide we need to kind of rein in that spending because of things changing. It's still important for me to remind myself, I still need to spend money on marketing. I still need to get out there. So with Mint, I set a budget, a monthly budget, through those things, those charges on my card or whatever into that budget. So it starts to recognize them. It has some AI stuff. So it'll start to see what that stuff is and categorize it for you. But it reminded me that whether I was spending enough or not on some of my marketing stuff, right? Because it's important to do. So great way to have control of your finances as an independent contractor. It is more important than for anybody else to know exactly what's coming in, exactly what's going out, and feel financially secure so that we're not stressed out, you know, in a market like this. So I love Mint. And again, it's an Intuit product. So if you're like me and do your own taxes as a real estate agent, you can import all the things from Mint straight into TurboTax. So it made my, you know, year-end stuff a lot less stressful as a real estate agent. So really cool. And that one's totally free too. Excuse me. So, you know, anybody know the term like doom scrolling, right? This idea that we just like get on social and we just start like scrolling, right? And it's almost like we have a couple more people still coming in. Awesome. So, I mean, it's almost like we're in a trance. And then every once in a while, you'll see something pop on the screen that really gets your attention, right? We want to be the person as a realtor providing content that pops, right? We want that content to really get somebody's attention. So Motion Leap by Lightricks, there's a little bit of a free version, and then there's one that's about $5 a month. And it basically is a really cool tool to edit photos into really engaging little GIFs or videos. So for example, if I, you know, were to go out in front of one of my listings and take a photo of that house, with a couple clicks, I could give it a really cool moving sky. I could make it, you know, kind of make the photo really, really pop. And it does it with just a couple clicks. You know, it has some holiday ones that are specific. So you can make a house look creepy during Halloween. You can make it look festive during the holidays. You can make it look cool with fireworks coming up behind it during Independence Day. But the most important thing is that with just a couple clicks, you can take a static home photo that most people would probably scroll by. We see a million of them, and give it a really beautiful sky, for example, or something that will really make it pop and draws your eye to it. Every single time I use this app, it's one of the only apps I pay for. Every single time I use this app and I post a photo, I get probably 10x engagement on that photo. They just pop. It just looks cool. And the fun thing is you can either turn it into a GIF, right? Like a GIF, whatever you want to call it. I call it GIF. You can create your own GIF super easily with this, but you could also turn it into a 6-second video so that as people are scrolling at that time, 6 seconds, it will just continue to loop that video over and over and over again. So even while somebody's scrolling, it will continue to move, which is kind of cool, makes it really pop. So I love Motion Leap by Lightricks. And actually Lightricks, this company, if you were to search that in the App Store or the Google Play Store, you'll see they have lots of really cool editing stuff for photos, for videos. And the great thing is they're all super, super simple. So in just a couple clicks, you can do things. It's not going to take you 20 minutes or something. It just takes a couple. So really cool stuff. So one of the benefits of being a member of the National Association of Realtors is RPR, right? RPR is a really deep and robust data platform basically for real estate. So you could be driving by a house, enter that house, find out who the owner is, how long they've owned it, when they took out a loan, how much that loan was, what school district it's in, an approximation of what that person may owe at this point, all kinds of really cool data. and it's all in one place. So we used to go to all kinds of different platforms looking for different things. If we wanted to find out the school, we had to go to the school district. If we wanted to find out the approximate taxes, we had to go to the appraisal district. If we wanted to find out the ownership, we had to go to the appraisal district. So all that data is right there within our PR. I could see an app like this being very expensive if it was not a part of being a benefit of the member of the National Association of Realtors. So if you have not used it, absolutely download it. If you're a nerd like me, you may just use it next time you're in Beverly Hills driving down the street to see whose house belongs to who, right? Like, it's kind of fun for that reason too. I'm a real estate nerd, even when I'm not being a practitioner of real estate. But the data is super, super deep. And there's some cool features within it that have a little bit of a predictive analytics way about them. And so what that means is, how long has this person owned this house? How long might it be until they sell it? Are they maybe going to downsize because they just had a child move off to college or leave the house, right? There's some of that data here too. And again, it's kind of nice to use as just a little bit of a data source when I'm going into a listing appointment, for example. You go into a listing appointment and somebody's like, yeah, I think we owe about 155,000. You look at this and their note was 700,000 a year ago. You're like, yeah, I think they may owe a little bit more than that, right? Like, that may not be correct. So it's just kind of a nice way to do some of our due diligence too, but tons and tons of data. So if you're not using it, you should definitely check it out. It's free. So why not? So you've probably heard of Pinterest. You probably used to be on it, and you probably haven't been on it in a while. That's what I'm finding, like, when I talk to people for the most part. Like I said, when I was talking about graphic design, I am not the world's most creative person. So anything I can leverage that can help me be a little bit more creative is awesome. The point of relationships as a real estate agent and a realtor in a market that's shifting like this is to build actual relationships. I don't want to be transactional, right? Transactional meaning, yep, I did a deal with them. They know who I am. I said thanks. They said thanks. And I kind of move on down the road. But how do you build an actual relationship, right? So Pinterest is one of my favorite places to go for different ideas for marketing, for pop buys and follow-up, right? If you were to go into Pinterest and search real estate pop buy ideas, there will literally be hundreds of ideas, many of which have a template that you could click on and just add your logo, your contact information to. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? When somebody's moving, a cute pop-by idea to drop off at the house as they're moving in. If it's been 2 months since somebody moved in, I mean, there's all kinds of things there. And there's also tons of really creative real estate agent marketing ideas that are far more creative than the things I would come up with. So you probably haven't been on Pinterest for a while. And no, it's not just for like wedding planning and like kitchen remodels. It's for all kinds of things. So absolutely download it, get engaged. And you'd be surprised how many people are there. One of the places that people go when they're starting to look for a new home is Pinterest, because they're looking at design ideas already, right? They're already thinking about what they want their future kitchen to be like, and they may not have even bought it yet. So by being present there and staying active and posting on Pinterest, you're going to stand out from the crowd. A lot of people have kind of moved away because of the TikToks of the world and all that stuff. So keep it in mind. I'm always, again, looking at ways to kind of differentiate myself as a listing agent, as a buying agent, whatever it might be. So Google Earth, I'm sure you remember it, right? It's just tons of really robust satellite imagery of locations all over the world. So not only is it kind of fun to just poke around and whatever, but I started doing a strategy that is kind of engaging and started conversations as well. And so what I'll do is when you open up Google Earth, it will be in some random place. You can swipe and go wherever you want. So I'll swipe to somewhere else in the world, right? Like Europe or the Arctic or just somewhere far, far away, a land far, far away. And then I'll enter the address of a listing, right? Listing that I have coming up, wherever it might be. And then I'll start to record my screen. So on an Apple, you swipe down, you click screen record. On an Android, it's slightly different, but you can still do the same thing. So I'll click record, and then I'll click go to that address. That satellite imagery will go from that part of the world all the way around the world, and then find that address, kind of hover around the neighborhood, and then zoom down to the house and circle basically around the house. It's just a really cool looking video to give perspective of where a listing is. That last part, it shows the neighborhood. If there's a park nearby, it shows that there's a park nearby. You can see that. And so when you record that, can easily post that to social. It's a great coming soon tool as well if you have a listing coming up and you kind of want to tease it out a little bit. But it's something that you don't see a lot of, and I've had people that use it for business. I've had people that use it in the real estate business and in other businesses for their different locations, whatever it might be. But it just looks really cool. It has that drone feel to it. And it costs you $0, right? So if it's free, it's about me. Like anything that I can do inexpensively or free in the marketing world as a real estate agent is always a plus for me. So Google Earth is really cool for that. And I just have a couple, Eric, gonna welcome him in. Just have a couple more. And then if you guys have any questions on any of this stuff, I'll be glad to answer. So Genius Scan, most mobile devices do this now, but I think Genius Scan is still just so much better than the others. So Genius Scan is a way to use your phone to scan a document. I know we're operating for the most part in a paperless way. We're sending DocuSign and dot loop or whatever it is that we're using to sign contracts with our clients and customers. But every once in a while, there's a disclosure or an amendment changing a sales price or something that I'm getting signed out in the field. So Genius Scan is an awesome way. You snap a photo. In Texas, the 1 to 4 family residential contract is 9 pages. So I could snap a photo of each of those pages. It will crop them automatically for me. It will enhance them, turn them into one PDF document that I can email out from my phone. I could do all of that on like a 9-page document in probably under 30 seconds just by snapping quick pictures. It enhances them in a way that it looks like they were scanned by a professional scanner, turns it into one document, and it's pretty cool. So I still use Genius Scan from time to time. If you're looking at turning something into a PDF just around the house or the office, it's absolutely the fastest way to do that. Unroll.me. So if there was one app that I'm going to say is like absolutely going to change your life, it's this one. So this is the one that I would really pay attention to. So Unroll.me is the solution to a problem that is age old for every realtor on the face of planet Earth. If you are a real estate agent, we somehow, I don't get it, but we are on every email list for every marketing, sales, coaching, lending. Every company on planet Earth has you on their email list. So if you're like me, you wake up in the morning and I've got like 80 emails from companies that I don't even do business with because I'm a realtor. People trying to, we'll get you to the first page on Google, or we'll manage your social media, or we'll do your home tours or whatever. So Unroll.me, you log in, connect it to your email, and just like Tinder, you can swipe left if you're over it. You can swipe right if you want to keep it. And there's also a way that you can do what's called a roll up. So if there's some emails that you like, but you're tired of getting them every day, or they're not significant to you, but you would like to get them every once in a while, you can do what's called a roll up, and you can set it weekly or monthly, and it will serve them up all to you in one email, kind of like a digest, so that you still get them, but it's not cluttering up your email. When I wake up in the morning, in the past, when I woke up in the morning, I mean, the first thing I did was go through and start deleting emails and seeing if there was any important emails. Now I don't do that, right? So the way you stay productive is not by waking up in the morning and going through and having to delete 50 emails. Your productivity in the morning determines your productivity for the day, determines your productivity for the week, determines your career, right? So this to me is a really, really important app as far as streamlining your life and the way you function in the mornings. Unroll.me, super awesome, totally free, secure, and just totally badass. So I definitely recommend that. So the last couple I'll talk about have to do with video. We mentioned earlier the idea of a unsolicited CMA, right? So you could do something like that similarly for a whole neighborhood or even for all of your clients, right? Hey, you've heard the market's crazy. What does that mean? I want to break it down for you. And you can deliver that in video form, right? Like the interesting thing, the interesting statistic, when we read something, we retain 10% of it, right? So like if I read some whole document, I'm going to retain 10% of it. When we watch a video, we retain 95% of it. So if we want somebody to really remember what we're saying and really have an impact, it should probably be in video form, because statistically, they're going to remember it. The added bonus of that is that it's your face, right? Like Angie and Andy and Eric and Pete, like, man, it's your face. It's your voice. That's how you create a connection with people. Just like right now. Would you be on this if I was like entering all of this in a chat and no one was speaking and you were just looking at black words on a white screen? Like, hell no, right? We're doing it because it's video. We can hear each other. We can see each other. So BombBomb is a really cool way to deliver video straight in the body of an email into somebody's inbox. So when I do something like those unsolicited CMAs, I may record a video explaining what it is and then drop that CMA below. Everything in BombBomb is trackable. Did they open it? Did they watch the video? How long did they watch the video? Did they forward the video to somebody else? Right? Did they click on my CMA button down there? Everything is trackable, which gives me the power to be able to follow up in a meaningful way. So if I sent one of those to somebody and I said, you know, hey, let's see, hey, Jill, right? Did you get my email? Or I noticed that you got my email. I noticed that you clicked on the market analysis. Is that something you're interested in talking about a little bit more? Just wanted to make sure you had all the information you needed. So the power of BombBomb is not only to be able to put that video directly in the body of an email and have it kind of start playing when people open it, but it's also everything is measurable and trackable, which is really, really cool. So BombBomb is a really cool one. If you're looking at creating some more video and you're not sure exactly where to start, one of the things that I've always told people is, hey, you know, start with like little 10 or 15-second snippets, right? And then you can edit them together later. Well, Video Easy is a way to where you don't even have to edit them together. So there's a feature on Video Easy that is free where you can record a video, and every time you pause for a couple seconds, or every time you start saying like, it will literally jump cut it. So it will remove that from the video and then just put it all together at the end, right? So you could put your phone out, you could start talking and then just stop for a second and think of what you want to say next. Look at the camera and stop talking. It will edit out that pause automatically. So it's a really cool way if you're looking to get into video, but you don't feel super comfortable yet. Like none of us do, right? When you're first doing it, it takes a long time to feel comfortable. But Video Easy is a super easy way to make a video that flows nicely and you don't have to speak perfectly for a minute or two. It will do it for you. So I love that one. And again, that one's free and it's a free feature, which is really cool. So we are on, I think, and man, there's a couple people still joining us. The last couple, I love video. I use it all the time, right? Like I use it for my business. I owe video to most of my career. Right? I can be able to connect with people, create relationships. They kind of know who I am before we even meet. They've heard my voice. They've seen my face. They know that I kind of misspeak from time to time because I don't edit that stuff out of my videos because it's me, right? So if you're looking to be able to edit videos just a little bit in a super, super simple way to be able to make them look semi-professional or at least more, you know, polished, Quick is my absolute favorite app for that. GoPro created this app. They have tons of templates to make it look really cool. One of my favorite things to do with Quick is a little bit of a virtual home tour, right? So if I have, you know, 30 photos of a listing, I will go to that listing and I would stand outside the listing and say, hey, it's me, Sam Trimble with XYZ Realty. Welcome to 2028 Bob Hope. Let's take a look. And then all I would do is upload that video, my 30 photos, and then take one more video either inside or maybe in the backyard and say, hey, thanks so much for taking a look. Again, it's Sam Trimble with XYZ Realty. If you'd like to tour this or any other house, reach out to me at the number below. Thanks so much and have a great day. Quick will throw those 2 videos in there, edit the pictures, those 30 pictures to the beat of whatever music within the app you select. So the editing looks cool and you can download that, post it to social. It could be in story format, right? Like upright. It could be in landscape format. You can upload it to YouTube, whatever it is you want. That process takes probably 5 minutes or less, including shooting the video, right? So if you're looking at ways to create video content that looks cool, sounds cool, and stands out from the crowd, Quick. I need to add an asterisk. I should have said that. There is a cost. It's $9 whole a year. So I hope we will invest the $9 in it. I do. I love it. It's what I use for editing almost all my videos now. The days of sitting on Final Cut or something, Splice or some of those others, like I'm just over it. Quick is just that. It's really quick. So check it out. And then the last app I want to talk about is something that can really kind of change your processes. And this could go super, super deep, or we could keep it kind of like, 30,000 feet. And that's what I'm going to do now. It's called If This, Then That. So this is an app and a product that you can use to integrate almost anything digital, right? So if I wanted to have a tweet that went out every time it is about to rain in Chambersburg, right? So like it's about to rain, the weather app says it's about to rain, a tweet goes out from my Twitter, hey, here's the top 15 things to do indoors when it's raining, right? Like you could automate something like that. You could automate your home to turn things on at certain times. You can automate anything that's digital, and it connects with all forms of social media. So again, if I want to know, hey, the first day of the year that it snows, I want to make sure that a tweet goes out. Here's the top 5 things for kids to do on a snow day, right? It will go out automatically when the weather app says that it's going to snow that day. That is kind of like a 30,000 foot level of this. You could go as deep as integrating things on your website to where when somebody enters their contact information, they get a text from you immediately saying, hey, thanks for entering your contact info. Yes, this is a text and it's automated, but Sam's going to reach out to you ASAP. We're excited to talk to you. Any type of automation. So I had this speaking to my CRM. I had this speaking through my website and my social media when I was actively pursuing a real estate career as a realtor. And it just it's a way to automate this stuff. I didn't have to have an assistant doing it. I didn't have to pay somebody to do it, and I wasn't having to do it. So it's really cool. So that is an endless rabbit hole of possibilities. So that one I definitely recommend. Head over to YouTube. You go to YouTube and search if this then that opportunities for realtors. There are all kinds of ideas on how to really use it to leverage some automation for your business. So we move into a little bit of a different market. We need to be as many places as possible, capturing the attention of as many eyeballs as possible. If this then that is a great way to do that. But really everything we talked about today can be used in different ways to do that. So if you and I are not connected, I would love to connect. If you have any questions about anything, I'm always around. Meg and Walt know I'm a total nerd and I respond to text even when I probably shouldn't be. So scan that QR code. Would love to connect with you on social, stay in touch. A rising tide raises all ships. We are all in this together. There's enough business to go around for everybody. And I think we can really be successful. So Walt, everybody at Pride, thanks for hanging out for a few minutes as always. And Meg and WFG, thanks for the support and for having me. And with that, I think those are the top apps that every realtor should have in 2022. Cool. I see one hand. What's up, Andy?
I have a question regarding how do you record on a Mac? You had mentioned it really briefly.
To record what? To record like.
Well, I went on to the Google Earth.
Okay.
And so I saw how it kind of starts from the Earth and then it narrows in. So
yeah.
How is
you,
that?
Recording the screen on your MacBook. That's what you're like on your phone or on your laptop? On your laptop?
Well, I don't. I'm thinking on my. I have a MacBook Air.
Okay, cool. I'm looking real quick to try and remember. There are. Let's see. I know you can do it using QuickTime, but there's another way. You can take screen grabs by pressing Command-Shift-4, and I think you can take. Let me see if I can just do it real quick. Yeah. So if you press Command Shift and the number 5, you sure and record your screen. I'm glad that actually worked. I was afraid I was going to say that.
You're freezing up.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Are you there? I'm here. You there?
Oh, you know what? No.
Okay. Well, that's okay. But so yeah, I'll send the recording.
Probably because I did this.
Okay. But it's Command Shift and the number 5. So any other questions?
Yes, I have one. That QR code that you had there, I just took the picture and entered you into my phone and whatnot. That's a pretty cool feature. Like what app was that?
So that is called Flow Code. That page that you saw when you scanned it is called a flow page, and it's basically my digital business card. So if you go to flowcode.com and then click on flow page, they'll show you exactly how to build it. And there's some free opportunities there too. You don't have to pay. You can build a flow page for free. So I have, some takeaways from different classes I've done on there. You can download my contact info. I have a little video and stuff like that. So I love that question. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. I love my flow page.
That was really cool. Like, it gave all your information and everything, and really, it's like really laid out nice too. So
yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I love, I mean, I use QR codes like crazy. I saw somebody the other day, I drove by a house and they had that little, like, you know, the icon for like Google Maps, that little kind of, I don't know, like the location icon, that red, like pointy circle. So their whole sign was that. It had the logo of their company on it. It was that. And in the middle of it was a big QR code, and that was it.
Cool.
That was it. And I was like, damn, what is this? So I scanned it, and it led to a landing page just like that. You could download the realtor's contact info. You could watch a virtual tour right from that QR. And so it was kind of fun because, like, you know, I'm a nerd, but most people, you know, you see a big QR code, point of reference as to what it leads to, people are curious, you know, like they'll scan it. And so I thought that was kind of a cool yard sign idea too. Just saw that like 2 days ago.
Sam,
What's up, Royal?
hey, partner, do you have a list of the apps that you just went over on that email? I saw you sent me an email.
Absolutely. Walt's going to send you a link to that exact presentation, and all of them will be there.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lizette will do that. Yep.
Yeah.
I got it under control.
Here we go. Cool.
Just quick question. What's the difference between the Popple and that, is it Flow that you mentioned? What's the difference between the two?
So Popple, you can do very similar things, a couple different things. One, I use QR codes for the most part because the Popple devices, like the little tab that puts on the back of your phone or the watch thing or whatever. Yeah. So they work really, oh, that's cool with your logo. Yeah. So they work really well, but every once in a while they don't. And a QR code always works. So I just end up using that. And frankly, like, I lose those things. If I'm being totally honest, like I lose them. So what I end up doing is I actually just save that. And you can have a QR code go to your Popple, by the way, too. You can still do that. So I literally, in my photos, in my favorites is where I save this. And so if somebody asks for a business card, I just go to my, yep, there you go. Just like Walt, perfect. And that's how I exchange information. There's a free version of the Flow Code one where the Popple one sometimes costs, you know, little things like that, but they're a very similar product for sure.
If anybody wants my contact information, just take your phone and
There
scan
you
that
go.
ID card.
I wonder if I can. Oh, wow, it actually got it.
Hold on.
There it is. Man, looking good.
All right.
There he is.
I used the picture from
that's a
15
photo.
years ago.
He photoshopped that.
It takes
Now,
you to
Walt, was that your Popple?
yes, that's my QR code.
Yeah, gotcha.
And Lizette has one. Gabriella has one.
Let me see.
Our bracelets even have the QR codes on the bottom.
Oh, let me see if you can scan. I'm driving and my other phone's charging. I don't know. Can you scan it?
That one's pretty tiny. It's kind of blurry.
Yeah.
You keep moving so it doesn't catch it.
I'm sorry. I'm pumping and going.
It's because she's drinking and driving, remember?
I promise not to tell. No.
Mum's definitely the word there.
Mum's the word. Well, I appreciate hanging out and thank you guys so much. I'll get the recording to Gabriella and Lizette and Walt, and they can get that out to you guys. If you have any questions, you know, we're always around to help. So thanks so much for having us.
Thanks for all the information. Appreciate it.
Awesome,
you.
Sam.
Thank you so much for everyone attending.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Appreciate the invitation, Lizette.
Yeah, it wasn't for Lizette and Gabriella, I'll tell you what, they're doing a heck of a job out there, guys.
So, thank you guys.
Thank you, Sam.
A
Thank
good
you, Paul.
compliment for those
Thank
two
you, Paul.
girls.
Thank you, everybody.
Remember, you guys notice Courtney saying.
Awesome to see you. Thanks for having us.
Referral?
Huh?
I was telling you, they noticed Courtney comment that a good comment is a referral to you. Gabriella. Lizette.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys for having us.
It is. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone. Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.